Hello everyone, welcome to Curious Life. I'm so excited for today's video because I am finally upgrading my index card box to something a little bit more permanent. So today I'll be designing my system and setting it up, and I'll even be making my own index cards using Canva. So let's grab everything we need, including a cup of coffee, so that we can get started. As we do that, let me introduce myself. I'm Issa and I make intentional homemaking videos with my wife Blaise. And our index card box provides the day-to-day basis for our cleaning, home management and organisation. So my index card box makes a lot of appearances in videos, even when it's a cleaning or a cosy homemaking video. So let's get started. And I'm starting on the computer because I'm going to be making my own cards for this box. I decided to do this because I wanted to make my index box something that I really enjoyed using. I just find that for me, having pretty planners works so much better for some reason. I just look forward to using it more. And as well, because of the way I use the index card box, I use a lot of the same cards. There's not too much change and there's not too much moving things around. So I figured I only have to make them once and then they're reusable, for the most part at least. So I'm starting the process by using Canva, which is a free-to-use online design program. We do pay for the pro version, but that's because we use it so often. It's definitely not necessary to pay for it for everyday use. So when creating the cards, the hardest thing to do is to get the cards the right size in the first place. But in the File menu under Settings, you can choose to turn rulers and guides on, and this turns on a ruler at the top and side of the page and just helps guide you with where to put things on the page. Then I just made a rectangle and I sized it to roughly the size of a 3x5 card, which in centimetres is about 7.6 by 12.7 centimetres. I don't think it has to be perfectly sized. I just think it has to be close enough, and the important thing is that all the cards are about the same size. So I then just used the rectangle as a basis for every single card. I made the outline of the rectangle a light grey and the inside was transparent so that I can easily cut the cards later, and it won't be too obvious that there is a line there to help guide me. So next I worked on the fun bit, which is the design for the card. I didn't want anything too complicated or fussy. I wanted the cards to be really clear and fairly clean looking. So I settled on a simple corner border that I put into each corner. I'd already decided to go with a type of sage green as a colour theme, because that's a colour I am really loving at the moment. And then I just used a small circle to use as a bullet point, because some of the cards will have more than one task or item on. Then with the design done, I'm ready to make all of my cards. So I duplicated my design 3 times on the page, and started with my routine cards. When you see my index card box in a bit, you'll see my sections better and it'll make more sense. But I'm basing my cleaning routines on the Fly Lady cleaning routines, and I've mixed together the Fly Lady control journal and this index card box to make a system that works for us. I do have videos on how I did this originally, and I'd recommend checking that out if you are interested. And next week I'm going to be making my Fly Lady control journal, so I'll show you that too. But right now I'm making my routine cards, which is my morning routine, my afternoon routine, which I have renamed to my 5 PM routine, which I've done just to give myself a timescale of when I'm supposed to do that, because I often find I skip the afternoon routine just because I haven't found a really good place to put it. So I figured doing it at 5 PM, which is when I tend to get up to start to make dinner, I can get the rest of the things done too. And then the other routine is the evening or bedtime routine. And then I moved on to making the cards for my other cleaning routines. These are my daily focus, my weekly maintenance clean, and my monthly zone cleans. So these are just reminder cards to remind me of what I'm supposed to be doing when. Next I started writing out my monthly zone cleaning task cards. If you aren't aware of the Fly Lady system, it's a cleaning and home management system, and it uses routines and habits to help you maintain your home, and the zone cleans are a monthly rotating routine that make deep cleaning easier by splitting your home up into zones, so that all you have to do is focus on one zone every week. So I have set up my zones a little bit differently to the Fly Lady, and I have split out monthly tasks that cover the whole house into zone 1. This is things like cleaning windows, mirrors, baseboards, light switches, and I just find that I'm using the same equipment, and because there's only like 1 or 2 of these in each room, I just find it easier to do the whole house all together. So then my zone 2 is my entranceway and utility room, zone 3 is the kitchen, zone 4 is the living rooms and offices, and zone 5 is the bathroom and bedrooms. The tasks and how I set them up should make more sense when I get to printing and filing them in my index card box in a couple of minutes. So after making all my task cards, I worked on a set that are just there to help remind me what day I'm on and what the daily focus is for that day. And the daily focus is a weekly Fly Lady routine where you allocate each day a theme. So we have things like cleaning day, errand day, and so on. This year I've decided that part of my issue the last few months, where I've been really struggling to get everything done and always feeling overwhelmed, is that I haven't really been allowing myself the time to do things that are not directly home related. So things like editing, recording and studying, I just hadn't allowed any time for in the schedule. So I was just getting behind all the time. So I have changed my daily focus quite a lot so that they are personal to me. And I've allocated a day for recording videos, a day for editing them, and then a day for studying for my degree. Hopefully actually acknowledging that I need to include time for all of these things as well as the house in my plan will help. So then next I created a bunch of divider cards. I have found that buying index card dividers is really expensive for some reason. So in the past I always decided to make my own. But this time my index card box actually came with dividers, so I'll probably use a little bit of both. And then I had one final set of cards to make, which were just blank cards for things like events, extra tasks and appointments. And these cards are just for those things that can't be predicted and I can't pre-print a card for. So I also then had a whole bunch of completely blank cards in case there's something that really doesn't fit into any of these things. And I'm just going to pop these at the back of my index card box so that I can grab one and write one out when I need. And that's the card made. There is just one extra thing I want to do. I bought an extra little clean pocket to use on my monthly dividers, and I want to put milli calendars in for each month in these. I bought the pockets so that the calendars are interchangeable, so that I have the option to continue using this box and these cards next year too. So let's get these printed and start setting up my index card box. This is my index card box and I love it. It's very simple, which is what I wanted, but I also wanted something that felt a little bit more long term than the plastic one I had been using. I've only been using the index cards for a few months, and I've already had 2 of the plastic index card boxes break, so hopefully this one will be a little harder wearing. It wasn't super expensive. I think it cost about £15 from Amazon, which really wasn't too bad. So let's start by cutting out all of the cards and the calendars, and then we can start assembling. Cutting these out took absolutely forever, but it is done now, and I'm going to start by setting up the sections. And this is where you'll start to see that my index card box is a little different to the original sidetracked home executive method. And it's because I used my box to reflect the Fly Lady routines a little more instead. So instead of a section for every day of the month, I have Monday to Sunday, and the base cards for those days tend to stay in there. So my weekly maintenance cleaning is a Monday, and I just leave that card in there. Then on Tuesday, I have my zone cleaning card because that's the day I'll be doing that, along with any recording that I need to do. Wednesday is my errand day, Thursday is the day I want to edit and plan, and Friday I've allocated to studying. Saturday I've just decided is a catch-up day for us to do whatever we need to do, and then Sunday is a day to just rest and relax. Then behind that Monday to Sunday section, I have my zones. So each zone has its own section which I can file the tasks for that zone clean. Then behind that I put my monthly dividers. This is where cards that are specific to a particular month go. So future appointments, birthdays and special days, and for any home tasks that are more sporadic than weekly or monthly. So things I only do once a year or every now and then, like change the batteries in the smoke alarms. And then the idea is that each week I check the monthly section and move any cards from there to the week I'm currently on the correct day. This is where the little calendars really come in handy to check what date it is and where I am in the month. And now it's just a matter of filing all my cards and we're set up for the next year. This system has been working out pretty well for me for the most part, and I'm hoping that with these adjustments it will work even better. If you're wondering where I keep information on things like recipes, emergency information or other household information, you are right, I could keep it in here, but I found that separating out my longer term information from the short term day-to-day tasks is much easier and less overwhelming for me. So I also have a more traditional Fly Lady control journal that I also need to make, and that's where that information is. So if you're interested in seeing that, then I will make a video for next week for you. So make sure you subscribe to see that video and any future videos where you'll see me using my index card box system and you'll just see the system working in action. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found it useful to see how I'm setting my index card box up for 2025. Let me know what organising systems you're using, if you're using any. I love to learn about new systems and see what I can implement to help me be more efficient. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day.